Whoa, whoa, whoa. What up, people? Like, subscribe, and share, folks. Like, subscribe, and share. Yeah, Chicago's finest, man. Man, sitting here with my son-in-law, rolling up a couple of white boys. We sitting there just talking about man shit. I was got to think about my step pops, you know what I'm saying, man? I said my pops, that's my pops, big. And it was like, man, I'm like, damn. Talking to him, I'm like, man, I might as well hit the live. And I hit the wrong one, man. What up, people, man? What up, what up, what up? Jack Chicago's finest, man. Jack Chicago's finest. Like, subscribe, and share, folks. Like, subscribe, and share. What it do, man? I'm just sitting there with the son-in-law, man. I got to talking about my step pops, my pops. You know what I'm saying? We was just talking about some man shit, and I'm like, damn, it's crazy that because I got the snowball truck and everything now, but as a kid, I remember, man, we stayed in the projects, and mind you, this is my step pops. My little sister, she the only one was his biological kid, but he raised my mom 3 boys, and man, that's my dad. You know what I'm saying? For real, for real. So he like, man, it's crazy. I'm doing the snowball thing now, because when we was kids, I remember, man, we stayed in the project. I was young, but I don't even know how old I was, but I was a kid. And he built us a snowball stand on wheels, though. And it's like, man, they had the doors to open it up. And he filled it up with, flavors, every flavor you can name. And he taught us how to make our own syrups. You know what I mean? All the flavors and everything. You know what I mean? This man he was a stand-up dude. He worked at a factory, I remember. Can't remember the name of it, but he retired from there. And on the side, he hustled and bustled. You know what I'm saying? He showed us. And it's like, man, I'm like, damn, if we'd have followed the blueprint that was showing my mom and me and my brothers, we'd have been entrepreneurs in business, a family business years and years ago. But you know what I mean? The family dynamics didn't follow the blueprint that he showed us and implemented to us. You know what I mean? For various fucking reasons, though. But I'm one of the few out of the family. I applied a lot of this shit because I remember. That's why when I tell my story, I can remember from so far back, and it's clarity. You know what I'm saying? I remember that shit, man. What up? What it do, man? And it's like, man, he was short. I said it on here before. We like my pops. We be like, man, John, we got some money. He would be like, shit. That's all he would say. And he would leave though. But when he came back, he would have cases of coconut bars, cases of peanut brittles. You know what I mean? Every size stuffed animal you could possibly think of. And he would snatch us up, take us and throw all this shit in the car, take us to 95th Street in Chicago, 79th, 63rd, Stony Island. He would post us up on the corners and have us selling this shit. We had the damn round at the L stations and shit. And we like, man, we young dummies, we embarrassed. You know what I'm saying? The mother just come back to school, up church, we saw y'all out on the corner selling stuff. They teasing us, but not knowing we got a pocket full of money. And we little dumbass little fucks. We out there, man, because he didn't stay out there with us, he would drop us up, set us up out there. And man, he would set us up, man, call if y'all need me, or when y'all done. And we be out there, man, we out there motherfucker in the middle of the cross. What's the crossing pad? The middle thing in the street. Man, me and my brothers and shit, we out there bitch bucking. We fighting all kind of shit, because who gonna go to the car? You name it. We were some young dummies, man, but I remember this shit. And it's like, man, but we would sell it. When we would get home, he would do the mathematics, the amount it cost to purchase everything. He would take that amount out so he could re-up. And then he split the profits between me and my brothers. That was the money we would ask him for. He made us work for it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like damn, I applied that shit for a long time, man, because I remembered all that stuff. I was a shy kid, but man, contrary to everybody believe, I was a little shy, nerdy kid as a youngster. You know what I'm saying? But I applied that shit in the streets into the little type of businesses that I did over the years and everything. And the dynamics of it always still stay. The economics never changes. The economics never change. You know what I'm saying? It all applies across the board, it's universal. And I learned that and I remembered it from my step pops too. I'm like, man, I'm telling my stepson, I'm like, man, my pop was a madman. But I remember as a kid, my mom was a handful. You know what I'm saying? You gotta remember this. I'm talking about late 70s going into the early 80s. My mom was a handful. My mom was a brick house. She was a man, beautiful woman. And everybody trying to holler. My mom used to play the bars and the lounges and shit. My steppop, he ain't play that. He ain't played no bars. So he was laid back, reserved, homebody for real. And my mom, man, shit, my mom was motherfucking little firecracker. She going out with her people, with her friends and shit. They partied and every motherfucking thing. My mom would go. Come in, she drunk as hell. They would fight and she would fight him. My pops would, he never would put his hands on my mom. I saw my step pop shake my mom at one time. My mom called him a bitch. I remember this shit. He grabbed and jumped up and shook her by the shoulder and said, we standing there, my brother, we standing like, he froze. We don't even know what to do. You know what I mean? He ain't hit her or nothing. He just shook her like, man, I'm calling him a bitch. Or next time I'm gonna put some balls on your ass. And he pulled us up. Like, man, don't ever put your hands on no woman unless she scratch you in your face or call you a bitch. And I remember that shit like it was yesterday. You know what I mean? He would ball out, leave and shit, man. I'm like, he was a good ass man, you know what I'm saying? And I'm the one I talked to my mom since I'm grown. My mom, she like, man, yeah, I wasn't prepared for a real stand-up dude like that. And she like, man, but he held us down. He taught us a lot. I learned so much from him that I remembered. But I was the quiet kid that just grab me a book, go sit off in the corner. Ain't nobody pay me no mind because I wasn't no trouble. I didn't say too much. I would just sit back. I always had bad eyes. I always wore glasses and shit. But I used to break my glasses because I didn't try buttons and shit. But I would just sit in the corner and read. I was no problem. But I saw everything, man. And I remember so much. That's why I can tell, man, I can tell my childhood like it's crazy. I remember all of it so vivid. But it's like, man, I'm telling my son, I'm like, man, I remember this shit. But he taught me how to be a man for real. And I was a kid. But he was applying that shit to us, and I remembered it. You know what I mean? It's stuff, certain shit that the way I move, certain ways I handle life situations, handle relationships and shit. I learned that from him. You know what I mean? I was a kid, you know. But I remember that shit. And it's like, man, you don't run across, especially back then. Niggas wasn't shit. You know what I mean? Niggas wasn't, man. You have to think about how many single moms were coming up in them 70s and them 80s. You know what I mean? Like, he was a stand-up dude, man. And he had 2 kids, and he was my oldest brother, Big John, and my sister Janice. But I mean, they was his first kids. But my big brother John came from the army when we met him. He was fully grown. But that was my nigga, yo. They opened arms us as they little brothers. You know what I'm saying? My sister Janice, her and my mother didn't get along, man. I remember this shit. Her and my mother used to beef gat because she wasn't used to seeing her daddy with another woman other than her mama. You know what I mean? I remember this shit. But my mom used to beef gat on some female shit. But she rolled out for me and my brothers. She was big sister, you know what I mean? I remember she beat this nigga up down in the projects. She went and bought us some brand new tennis shoes. It was like 4th of July or something. She draped us the whole outfit with tennis shoes. We get downstairs, motherfucker teaser talking shit like, look, y'all think y'all fresh with the move. She ain't play by that. She beat this nigga ass, man. I remember that shit, yo. I remember it. It was like, man, but this shit is crazy. And I talked to my mom about it, and she'd be like, damn, how the hell you remember all that? I remember all of it, you know what I'm saying? And I was the baby boy. I remember shit, my big brother John came from the army because he was in the army, man. And he was one of them big bodybuild type niggas. He was fit. We used to look up to my brother like that. And when he came to the project, he moved with us when he got out of the service. And I grew up in the GD area. The projects where I grew up, there was nothing but gangster disciples. And my brother had his ears pierced, but he had some red like rubies or something in his ears. And he walked downstairs with some dudes he knew, and the niggas was talking about doing something to my big brother because he had the red earrings. He came upstairs, said something to my mama, man. She said, what the hell? Because they didn't really know that was our brother and shit, because he wasn't raised over there. Man. My mom went down on that court doing nutty, man. They ain't fucking with my mom was a handful, you know. That was like, man, them was my brothers and sisters and shit. I remember this shit, but just reminiscing, you know. I ain't told one of the family stories in a minute, man. Mom Duke's about to come up here. All this was going through my head. She's about to come up for Christmas. So I'm ready for Thanksgiving to be over with. So Mom Duke can get here for Christmas. And man, I'm going to talk to him. I'm about to read these damn contacts later on, man, because I can't see shit. I read them. These are fashionable respect these days. Not my prescription. I ain't really lots of no lies, baby. But it's like, man, I remember that. And it's like, man, I wind up leaving. I tell you, I've been on my own since I was 14. After my mom and my stepdad split up and so we moved out to the Hunnits. They moved us out of the city, out of the projects, so we started to get of age and getting into shit. I'm 12, about 12 when we moved out to the Hunnits. My brother's then 14, 15, so we started getting into trouble. They got us out of the project, moved us to the suburb, and we hated that shit. November the 1st, 1984, I never forget that the date we moved out of the projects. And it was like, man, we hate, man, we cried. We would cry like that. How the fuck you crying as you leaving the project? You going to a house. You know what I'm saying? What up, man? What up? We crying because we elevated from the projects to a fucking single family home. We weren't trying to hear that shit. We moved from 35th and State all the way up to 147th in Harvey. That seemed like we was in a whole nother state. You know what I mean? As a kid, like, man, hey, we'll never see our friends. We went back one time. And I never went back to the project. I was grown. I went and bought some weed, pound of weed or some shit. And I couldn't find no weed in the Hunnits. I'm like, man, I'm from the projects. Everybody was scared to go to the project. I'm like, man, I'm born and raised over there. Man, a couple of my niggas went. And I jump out, we get outside, everybody out in the motherfucking courtway and the gangways. I walk up, motherfucker, in Chicago in the project, you ain't coming in that motherfucker without, they gonna check to see where you going, who is you. And I'm like, man, it's dead. Hey, bro, everybody went hand, they still remembered me. I almost like, damn, because everybody was scared to go to the project. I was telling man, I'm from the projects, yo. I ain't scared to go down there. I'm really born and raised there. Got jumped in on the 8th floor, 3651 South Federal. Man, 8 years old, got jumped into an organization. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's my roots. But we left and never went back. And it's like, man, shit was crazy, man. But my shit was different. I left so early because it was like, man, my mom, she was going through it. It was hard times after her, my step-pop split. So I'm the little bro, but I'm the one that went out there and jumped out there and got, hey, Benny, roll up a white boy, huh? Straight up. I'm the one, I jumped out there. I'm like, man, I can help my mama. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't scared to hustle and shit. My brothers now, my brother Anthony, he was more street gang banging and shit, but he had no hustle in him. But they was walking around late in this pocket. I was the nerd for real, but I'm the one I had to, man, figure that shit out. But my brother used to beat my ass. My brother was a G. I wasn't no hood dude or nothing. Shit, my brother was. And I had to figure that shit out, how to survive out there, and I did, you know. I was the one I started doing all kind of shit, so I could help my mama, you know what I'm saying? For real. And it's like, man, I applied a lot of that shit my step-pops told me. And I ain't see him, but man, I moved out of state. I moved to California, Baltimore. You know what I mean? I ain't seen him probably about, before he passed away, it was probably 10, 15 years, I hadn't seen him. And I came home to visit. And he came to pick my little sister up. And man, he was there. That was the first day he ever called me by my first name. He used to always call me by my nickname. You know what I mean? My whole family do. But that day he called me by my first name. I'm like, man, that's when I knew I was a man. You know what I'm saying? I went to the store or something and we rode around and he really talked to me and I thanked him. You know what I mean? I was wrong. I actually thanked him because, you know what I mean? Shit, he was the only man that my mom fucked with that was a man. You know what I mean? All the other boyfriends, we beat the bricks off them niggas, yo. My mom used to cry, y'all ain't my daddy. Man, you gonna get these bitch ass niggas. Man, we used to beat our boyfriends the hell up, yo. Especially when we started gang banging. My mama couldn't have, man, you ain't having no niggas come up around. I got a little sister now too. Ain't no dudes coming up in here. We used to beat my mama boyfriend's ass, me and my two brothers, man. my mom used to be so mad at us. She crying and screaming. Stop, wait a minute. Don't sit down, old lady. We punishing these niggas. Oh, man, you fuck with these old suck ass niggas and your boys some gangsters. You know what I mean? Like, come on. She ain't even know we were G as we was. Shit around my mama house. My mama wasn't no whore, you know what I'm saying? For real, for real. You got some papers, man? Yeah, man. You got enough? Yeah, my fault, people. Yeah, I'm just sitting there reminiscing, man. I'm like, man, just remembering a lot of shit. And I remember, man, I hadn't seen him for years, man, but that's what I got to thank him and tell him appreciate him because I was, man, I learned a lot from that man. And he was like, man, I could tell he was proud of me because, man, I came back, I was a different dude, for real, you know? They remember, like my family to this day still. A lot of the stuff I did in life, they have no idea. They wouldn't even, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't even understand, man. I left one dude, I came back somebody all the way different, you know what I mean? But you transform into something you got to survive on your own, especially in different states, you know what I mean? You know how to survive, you know how to, man, play your position, you know what I mean? So like when I came back, I was a whole different dude from who my family remembered, you know what I mean? They used to call me by my nickname, like, Didaboo. I'm like, man, that nigga been gone a long time ago. It took them a long time to really grasp I was Jack, you know what I'm saying? I was a different dude. But I was real shy and like, man, quiet and timid when I left. And man, but when you're out on your own, out in this world, you have to, you get a little edge to yourself if you're gonna make it, you know what I'm saying? For real, for real. But man, I got to tell that man, thank you before he passed away. And that was a blessing, you know what I'm saying? But it was that, man, that's it. Man, I'm just sitting here with the son-in-law chopping it up, man. And just reminiscing, man, talking about the family, you feel me? I can't even see these motherfuckers. Can't see these joints. I can't see shit. God damn. Respect to everybody that's here. I'm gonna read them later and I'll comment to y'all later on, all right? For real, for real. But man, I'm just sitting there, you know, thinking about the family dynamics, man. And the reason I worked like crazy, I hustled like crazy over the years, but I always had a business mind. I always was trying to do everything to be a ownership. You know what I'm saying? I learned that from my stepdad. You know what I'm saying? And it's still apply today. You know what I mean? Shit, man, self-employed right at this moment, me and the wife, you dig? So it's like, man, it is what it is. And I learned a lot from that, man, and I appreciate it. This just was a thank you video to my pops, you know? Real shit. Because I met my real pops one time, man. My mama still did. She said, that didn't happen, dude. That's what the fuck it did. I remember. She used to take me to this park and meet my real father. And I mean, one time he was out there with his homeboy. They were drinkers and shit. I remember this shit. I was a kid. I don't even know how old I was. But I remember the nigga handed me a slick smoke nigga bull can. And to hit the fucking bed. While he was out there with his homeboy. My mama swear down that shit didn't happen, but I remember it. I'm like, man, old lady, that's the hell it did. I remember that shit, you know what I'm saying? And she like, man, you ain't ever even try to ever think around and reach out to your pops before he passed away, because, man, I remember that shit. I wasn't even trying to meet him, you know what I mean? Shit, my pops was my stepdad. He showed me some man shit, that nigga handed me a beer, yo. And my mama still swearing down it, that didn't happen, but the fucking did. I remember it, you know what I mean? But I let her have it, but I knew it. My truth was my truth. I remember that shit with a slick small liquor, blue ball, the blue can, man. I remember that shit. And straight up. But just reminiscing, man, saying thank you to the old man, man. Appreciate you, John Connor. And never forget you. And never forget that shit you taught me. And man, he was a solid individual, you heard? But nowadays, it's a lot of, there was a disconnect right after that generation, man, where men wasn't in the household. That's why the dynamics of our community start transitioning into fuckery. Because a lot of the men got hooked on drugs, went to the penitentiary, or just sitting out on the motherfucking corner drinking and sipping and doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? And that's when the transition of why we living like we living today in our community, man. There's a lot of men left. So that's why I always stood firm, man. Got them kids, man. You gotta make sure them kids good. If you did it, you gotta do it. Yeah? Real shit. But man, I appreciate everybody chiming in, man. I just was reminiscing on something, you know what I mean? Some real deal. But man, it's like real talk, man. Just wanted to salute the old man, for real. But man, I appreciate all y'all, man. No doubt. Sitting with the son-in-law, man. Before I go in, I know the wife, you like, where the hell you at? Why you ain't? Shut the hell up. Be quiet, woman. I'm just joking, people. Man, y'all be easy though, man. I appreciate everybody, man. Jack Chicago's finest. Jack Chicago's finest, man. Like, subscribe, and share, folks. Like, subscribe, and share. Yak, baby. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Y'all be safe, baby. Right? Appreciate you people, man. I'll catch y'all on the next one, all right? Like, subscribe, and share. Like, subscribe, and share. Yak Chicago's finest. But I tell them, they ain't got to respect it, but they will not. And I repeat, will not disrespect it. Stand on that. I'll let your boy, all right? One.